Welcome to the CWC podcast. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate everybody who checked out the last few videos. I think we have 3 live videos now and an intro. So thank you to everybody who has been engaged with us, whether you left a comment, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever. We appreciate the feedback. So we're here tonight with another good episode for you. Today is a very broad topic, but we've condensed it down a little bit, and I think that this will be something that everybody's going to get some enjoyment out of. I expect to have a follow-up show or 2 on this specific topic, which it's got multiple parts. So let me break it down for you. The show is actually, so this is health and fitness. Are they required for a healthy relationship? There are subplots to this. So as we go through it, we will touch on each of the subplots, and we've got some articles that we're going to share with you that illustrate a lot of the points that we're going to make, and we're going to leave it open. My sister will have a lot to say on this particular one because there is a lot of this. Women, ladies, don't take this as we're attacking women. We're just simply reporting facts and figures that are public record, and we'll share all of the sources with you in the description box below. We will share that with you so that you can go back and reference these articles if you would like at your leisure. So, jumping on the topic, health and fitness. I believe that health and fitness, just in general, is massively important for everybody to have some sort of fitness program, some sort of fitness routine. Whether I don't care, it has nothing to do with marriage. Just in general, healthy lifestyle, you should have some sort of exercise program. Whether it's just, I have friends who just walk every evening for 4 or 5 miles just to do something, right? I know people that ride bikes. You don't have to. I'm not talking. You don't have to be Lee Haney and be in the gym lifting everything. Especially for those of us who are getting a little bit older, you don't really approach it that way anymore. You may just, but as long as you're doing something, swimming, walking, jogging, something, right?
Yeah.
So that in general, that's the way I feel about it. And I do believe that it is required for a healthy relationship. I believe that both of the people, what do you think?
I agree. I think you should do it together. I think if you are working out together, you're getting those endorphins together, you're looking good together, you're getting worked up together. You go home and you have, who know, you might get even sweatier after you go home after
Together.
you work out together.
There we go.
It's something that you share too, together.
Now,
Yeah.
with that being said, that's going to segue into the first. We're going to share the first article with you for tonight. This is an article, and again, we'll share this in the description box. But this is 5 reasons why couples should work out together. So we're just going to go through these quickly, and just it's like common sense to me. But let me just share it with you. Some of the points that, and you can see here on the screen. So exercising together can boost the quality of your romantic relationship. You just said that.
I just said that.
You said that, and she has not reviewed the article yet.
No.
So she just said that, right? So I think we can all agree, right? If you are, just think about it. You're working towards a goal together, right? So you both want to stay in shape in general, but also for each other, right? That's what I'm thinking.
And you have something in common. You have a common ground. You have a common foundation that is keeping you healthy and giving you both longevity, and you're working on it together. It's a hobby and something that you have that you both put a lot of stock in, and that's important.
Right. So that first point, I think we all will agree. If you don't, tell us in the comments. Everyone needs a little accountability. You
need an accountability partner. Mm-hmm. You've got to have one, and if
keeps you honest.
If you're not with somebody, you have these accountability groups on social media. All these different groups. You can join groups, and you can have an accountability partner. You need to have accountability, otherwise, your brain will keep you safe and tell you to stay in bed and do it tomorrow.
Yeah, you need that little nudge, right? Like you need that. It's Saturday morning. It's a little bit overcast. It might be drizzling. Do you really want to get up and do your morning run? But if your partner's already up stretching, you're probably going to get up, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of see that. So
I agree.
Competitive
too. If you're competitive like me, or if you're Scorpio, we're pretty competitive. You kind of want to win. Mm-hmm. So that's
And I've seen couples create friendly competitions with this. Like they'll, who can lose the most body weight mass, and maybe not pounds, but to make it more fair, like body weight percentage and things like that. I've
Mm,
seen people do that, and it creates a little friendly competition.
mm.
And guess what? You're trying to outdo this person, right? So
Yeah.
it becomes, and you're working towards a healthy goal. So I think that's a
Put
great
your
idea.
money where your mouth is. Put some
Mhm.
money on it too.
And number three, it's all about teamwork. Kind of feeds into that as well. I think. Um, it's you're both going for a common goal. You're
Hmm.
both striving for a goal that you want to achieve, whether it's, you know what, man, I want to be in the best shape of my life when I'm, 47, 48, whatever it is. It's possible. You can do it. There are a lot of people. That's one of the things that you were telling me about a lot of the people in the healthy, the vegan space. I always thought there was this misconception of, vegans being these kind of skinny, kind of frail looking people. But she's shown me some monstrously muscular vegan dudes,
Beasts.
beasts. So
Our deadlifter for the United States, gold medalist, is a massive vegan, big boy.
amazing. They don't tell you that in the mainstream, probably. But number four, you'll spend more time together. Well, that goes hand in hand, right? You are going to spend more time together. You may go to the gym together, if you're riding bikes together,
Hmm.
if you're going on walks together, whatever it is, and you can create, I think, activities around that. And you're going to be around each other, more time together. Hey, makes sense to me so far.
You're pushing each other, and you're happy for each other and for each other's goals. It's a good thing to do together.
So the last one point says it's fun and you'll be healthier together. I think we all agree. I think we all agree that all of those things to me seem very kind of cut and dry about why it's beneficial to have a healthy lifestyle that your partner also shares with you. I don't see any downside to it whatsoever, other than, yeah, there's no downside, but the only detraction that I could see from someone doing this or a couple doing this is that one or both of you are lazy.
Yeah,
Because if one or both of you are lazy, you can come up with reasons to not do any of these things that we're talking about. Like you can always talk yourself out of it, right?
very easily. You both look at each other and go, "Let's do
Yeah,
it tomorrow."
let's do it tomorrow, right? But
And tomorrow never comes.
tomorrow never comes. And then the next thing you know, which this is going to lead us into our next kind of point on all of this. So I think in general, we can agree healthy relationships, exercise, co-exercise is going to promote a healthier relationship in general.
Healthy habit.
Healthy habit. Now, point number two, why do people gain weight during their marriage or committed relationship, but then lose weight when a breakup is on the horizon? Now, this point, you're going to have a lot to say about this. So I have always here, guys, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of you out there right now say, yeah, yep, that's exactly what they do. Here's what
That
I've
goes
seen.
both ways.
Right. So here's what I've seen in my experience, and it's uncanny because I've seen women who all of a sudden, like, I mean, I see them for a while, and I see them, I'm like, man, she lost 20, 30, 40 pounds, and then unfortunately, my brain tells me she's probably got divorced.
Single now.
I'm hearing this in the back of my mind, right? She's probably getting divorced because, ladies, let's be honest, you got to put yourself back on the market, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Am I? Is that a fair way to say it?
Yes, it is. And you're better on the market when you look better, when you feel
Sure.
better, when your mindset is better, because exercise helps your mindset too. And it makes you want to be better
Mhm.
in so many ways.
So with that being said, let me ask you, and let's go with the women use case first. Why do women, especially after children, they have the baby or two, three, whatever, how many of you decide to have?
Hmm.
Why is it that sometimes they just can't seem to get that baby weight off, or they just can't seem to get themselves motivated to go back to the gym after the kids?
I think a lot of times what happens is she has a baby. Maybe if she has two back to back, it's definitely hard. There's no point in doing anything because he keeps knocking you up. So finally, when you've had enough and you don't want to have any more children, a lot of times women they fall into a rut. They get busy with the kids. They're eating goldfish with the kids.
Mhm.
They're eating Rice Krispie treats with the kids. They're snacking on the kids' food, and they're kids. They can eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
You can't, or you really shouldn't be. I mean, if you want to change the way that you look, or you want to feel better in your own skin, which I believe most people do. I believe almost everybody does.
Mhm.
And this this making obesity okay movement is just simply unhealthy, and we're cheering on unhealthy lifestyle, and secretly putting women in an early grave. But that's a whole
That's going to be another show.
Topic.
But I'll be honest. I agree with that. I actually think that it's sad, and it's not. This whole fat shaming thing is gone way too far. Like, this whole fat shaming thing to me has gone way too far, because what we've done now is we're taking women who are clearly unhealthy. Being overweight is unhealthy. I don't care how you slice it.
It's bad for your circulatory system. It's
Right.
bad for your lungs. It's bad for your pancreas. Everything has to work harder. Your kidneys have to work harder. Nothing is working in balance. There's a lot of huffing and puffing going upstairs. None of that's normal.
And
it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't make them feel good psychologically. They can pretend and say, put on a brave face and laugh and smile out in public and all of that. But honestly, everyone wants to lose weight. Every person that's heavy, deep down inside, really wants to lose weight. They're not 100% happy, I don't think. And that's why the gastric bypass surgeries is so popular. But, back to...
Interesting stuff there. Well, and this has nothing to me. Notice that you never hear this with men. Have you noticed that? You don't hear in the media that there's any fat shaming involving men. Have you? Maybe you have. I haven't. It's always this female thing. To be honest with you, fat guys just don't really care.
Men don't care.
They don't care.
That was what I was going to say. Men don't care.
They don't care. They don't. You could say whatever.
You can say whatever you want. Their feelings aren't going to get hurt. They're going to say, "Oh, you're fat shaming me."
They don't care. Women are they're emotional, so it hurts their feelings. And so now we have to put giant women on the cover of Cosmopolitan and things like that, and they don't want to put the skinny girls on there because it perpetuates a narrative that you have to be thin and pretty in order to be on the cover of a magazine. I disagree with that. I believe that you have to be worthy to be on the cover of a magazine. I believe that you need to look. They're not putting me on the cover of Men's Health. They're not doing that. They're not going to do that.
Your muscles aren't big enough.
No, I shouldn't be on the cover of that.
Did I hurt your feelings?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying there's a time and a place, and I just think that, especially if you're talking about fitness magazines and things like that, and then you're putting that doesn't make any sense.
They didn't put any big fat guys on the cover of Men's
You've never seen a fat guy on the cover of anything, have you? Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. So I think we agree. I know we went off on a tangent a little bit there, but back to the now, what I have seen once again. Now, men too. Men do the same thing. I actually worked with a gentleman many years ago. He was in a long-term relationship. His girl did him really dirty. Him and her were fat together. Like, it was just
that usually is exactly what happens. These guys get fat together.
Yeah, they were fat together.
Yeah.
He found out they ended up moving, I think, to Pensacola or something like that. She moved up there first, and then he was going to go up there afterward. Well, he never went because she went up there and then basically let him know, "Hey, I'm good. I'm out." He plunged himself into Taekwondo and different types of training, and he got himself into really good shape. Next thing I see him, he's got a ponytail going. He's in shape, and I'm sitting up there like, but see,
ponytail.
Men do the same thing. We'll reinvent ourselves after the woman has left, right? In a lot of cases, so it goes both ways. This is not just the women get themselves in shape because women do. It is your looks is your currency. So for women, it's incumbent upon you must look good if you want to have options opened up to you and you want another man to commit to you, right?
So you may get heavy and fat together, and at some point, I think it's the woman more than it is the man, and at least in my experience, that wants to feel better about herself. That's why Weight Watchers and all these things exist. And while she's still married to you, and she would love for you to join her. Let's do it together. One of the two doesn't want to do it is usually what happens in the marriage. And the one person decides, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And she starts feeling really good about herself. She gets her abs back. She gets her legs back. She gets everything back. And he gained weight with all of her pregnancies. and he's sitting around the house with his dad bod and treating you like the routine that he has in his life. He goes to work, he comes home, he pats the kids on the head, he eats dinner, he goes to bed, he rolls over on top of you, he pumps and sweats like it's some sort of treat or treasure, and then he rolls over and goes back to sleep, and you're laying there like, there's got to be some. Is this what I signed up for?
Meanwhile, the full body boot camp instructor is this muscular man who you can't help but to keep noticing, and he keeps noticing you too. Amina, you're doing a great job with your stretching.
Every week you're getting smaller, and every week you're getting stronger, and every week he's paying a little. And then one week he decides to listen to you.
Yeah.
Because your husband stopped listening to you. He doesn't want to work out. He doesn't want to listen. And you're just supposed to kind of keep just going along with that. Somebody wants to listen to her.
So guys, if your woman all of a sudden starts a workout program, gets a personal trainer, does any of these things, that is a sign that the clock is ticking.
Yes. Okay. At least that's one of the flags. That's like, okay, Foxy, let me start getting on my game. If you're still sitting around and waiting for dinner to be served, and then sitting down with the TV with the clicker, and then you go take your shower and roll over on top of me every night, and you think that that's a treat and a treasure, you're mistaken.
And guys, get over yourself, please. I have talked to guys who believe that your equipment, if you catch my drift, is all you need. It's good enough.
And your same routine.
And let me just tell you this, for the men out there who have been in the actual delivery room when your wife or girlfriend delivered a baby, we've seen what the woman is capable of. Whatever equipment you have ain't 8 pounds, 10 ounces. That's all I'm saying. So get over yourself. There are a lot of dudes that I've talked to that come off with this kind of attitude where, oh no, I know what I'm doing, man. I be laying it down in the bed, but she ain't going nowhere.
She's used to you.
Okay.
Unless you're doing something else, there's an art to this. You got to mix it up. You got to make it. You can surprise her ass.
So, with that being said, that's a great segue into. We're going to jump into an article. Now, this article, you guys are going to enjoy this. This article, let me go ahead and share my screen. This article comes from the New York Post. It's a mainstream article. Here we go. So I know y'all out there talking about, where are you getting this information from? I don't believe you. Where'd you get that? It's in the mainstream. Your mainstream. So we want to use the New York Post here. This is a recent article. As you can see, this is from September the 6th. Actually, this is September 6th. The article's from August the 23rd. So very recent article. Now, what it says, women are more likely to cheat than men, and here is why. Now, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to actually read.
I didn't know this, honestly.
Yeah.
I did not know this.
How many of y'all didn't know this? Because I'll tell you what, I used to always think that it was men who were the cheaters, right? I used to think, because I'll be honest, I was well programmed. I believed in the Disney princess stories, the sugar and spice and everything nice, and women never do anything wrong. If you look at all of those movies, it was always the men doing something wrong. It was rarely the woman, except for the angry stepmother in Cinderella, which is just she's a moniker for
left. She had no man, and she had those two.
It was still the man's fault. The man, he left. It was still him. Okay. So you're right.
She was so grouchy.
She was frustrated. The husband left. He didn't come back. You see what I'm saying? The man was always the one doing something wrong. So in my mind, right, the woman was always the damsel in distress. She was always, and then there would be some evil man that was trying to capture her and do something to her, right? Yeah. Right? And he's laughing and all these things. And he has minions, and they're all men too. Yeah. Right? So these were the things that I was led to believe, and it made sense to me, right? I was programmed. So now, once we go into the article, and you can see here, a growing body of research suggests women struggle with fidelity more than men. And I'm going to read a couple of these paragraphs here. So science is finding that women struggle more than men when it comes to staying faithful in relationships. Even when your marriage is good, you still miss that rush of feeling so excited you can't eat or sleep when you're having such an intense time emotionally and sexually with a new person. That's what I kept going after and what I couldn't say no to. That's how Annika, 45 of Melbourne, describes her experiences with cheating. And she's far from alone. According to a growing body of research, and this actually leads you to another article that continues this information if you'd like to get more info on this. Many women in long-term relationships are sexually adventurous and have secret lovers. Men, pay attention here. There's a reason 50 Shades of Grey. I've never read the book. I've never watched the movie.
And I saw the
I've
movie.
heard it. It's absolutely terrible. But women loved it and they went and saw it in droves. There's a reason for that. Now, let me continue. As we get down here, the view that it's mostly men who cheat because their partners lose interest in sex is outdated. Science says that it's actually women who struggle more with monogamy because they get bored in the bedroom. Now,
I think I said that about 3 times.
You said that not only this time, you said it on the last video as well. You mentioned it. There's another link here. If you can click on this, this is an article that will take you to another, and it's going to detail all this getting bored in the bedroom stuff. There's more articles attached to this.
Women crave sexual variety, and while some stifle their desire, others will be unfaithful.
Yes. Now, pause. Let's pause. So, the cat is out of the bag, women, ladies. The cat is out of the bag. All the information is out there now. It's showing up in the mainstream articles. It's all out here now. Between stuff like this and TikTok and stuff like that, I already told ladies in the last couple videos ago, you've spilled all the beans. All the information is out there now. Men would have been still walking around not knowing what was going
Pretty much.
They wouldn't have known anything. But you guys,
we don't know anything unless we tell you.
We don't know anything. You guys have put all of the information out there for us all to see now. Now it's all here. And the internet's too big. Social media is too big. The cat is out of the bag.
In defense, in defense of these women that are going outside of their marriages, there are many variables to every marriage and why people do what they do. But when it says boredom in the bedroom, I'll piggyback off of that then. So he's got the dad bod. He's not doing anything about it. Now, I'll accept trying. Try 1 day a week, 2 days a week. Cut back on your beers or meatless Monday or whatever. Well, for me, he can't eat animals, but you know, for anybody else, you know, if he's trying, that's okay. But if he's sitting around and he's bored, you are one of his pieces of his routine to his life, and he's one of the routines to yours, and he's almost like one of the kids. You know, she's got to tell him what to do and when the bills are due and where we're going next week. And this weekend we're going to such and such. And you can't wear that. Put that shirt on. You look stupid in that shirt.
Now, wait. Are you the nagging wife now that just won't leave him alone? Because he may think that he may think that he's got the right shirt. He's doing everything. He may believe he's doing everything right.
Maybe at that point, too, because she might be kind of.
Is she nitpicking?
She's irritated
because she's tired
him.
of him.
Yes, he isn't doing anything. He comes home and he does the same thing. You're not doing any of the things that you did to win her over.
All right.
To bring her into your graces. You got lazy and you got fat on top of it.
Okay. So now, so in your scenario, it's one party's in shape, the other one's not. Or even if you're not in a fitness program necessarily, and he's just kind of let himself go. Guys, and I agree with the dad bod stuff. Not attractive. Not attractive.
And if you're not a dad and you have a dad bod.
Yeah, if you're a single dude with a dad bod, you ain't got no excuse whatsoever. Like
you're just lazy. Now you're just lazy. And laziness is very unattractive for me.
Laziness is extremely unattractive for me, for sure. If the chick is lazy, I don't want anything to do with her. You can tell that the chick is lazy. Telltale signs, red flags. If you get into a chick's car, a lot of chicks' cars
dirty
are extremely dirty. I got into one girl's car, and dude, I was kicking stuff out the way.
Yeah.
I was kicking stuff out the way just to sit down. I'm like, okay, I see how this girl rolls. So I could never date that woman for real. Just based off that, people may say, "Oh, see, you're so judgmental."
I've been that girl, so I could say that in my car sometimes.
Okay. So the moral here is that laziness is not attractive. Laziness is very, very unattractive. Men, I put the onus on you, on us in this case. I think that it's incumbent upon us as the man to lead. Meaning, if you're in a fitness program, as a matter of fact, when I was married, I've always been a guy that likes to work out, right? I was in the military, always liked to work out. So I remember when I got my punching bag and stuff in my garage. Uh, at the time, what my wife did do is that she would see me working out and getting into shape and working on the bag, and she was like, she actually told me one day, "Oh, you ain't going to do this by yourself," and she actually started working out as well. I was kind of like the inspiration for her to start doing it, and we kind of got in shape, even though we weren't necessarily working out together. We were getting in shape at the same time, and it can
That's
drive
just as good.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the same exercises or the same workouts or even go to the same gym.
Yeah, and it's attractive, right? Like if you're a man, like she would come home from work, and I would be banging out rounds in the garage. Like I'd be on my third round, I'm pouring sweat. That's attractive.
I think so.
The woman wants to see that.
A woman likes to see her guy. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I mean, do you think she wants to walk in and see me sitting on the couch with my feet kicked up and my beer belly
and
popped
you're getting
out?
Fatter?
Do you think she really wants to see that? I mean, I mean, come on. I think I would be kind of like, I mean, you got some nerve if you're like, you mean you don't want to have sex tonight, babe? I mean, no.
No, she's taking care of the kids. She has a job too.
Yeah.
And she's feeding everybody. You're one of the kids.
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything. That's annoying. Why do you get to sit? I have two jobs. I got two jobs too. I go to work and then I come home and I have my other job. And you're one of the jobs.
So you're really, so you're saying he's adding to your workload,
yes.
Basically, and that's it. He's not doing anything else, right? He's adding to your workload. You're frustrated with him.
Yes.
You're tired of looking at him.
Yes.
He, and as a matter of fact, you get into the bed and he's breathing loudly in the bed too, isn't he? Yeah. Because now his airways are a little bit more constricted because he's gained by about 30 pounds.
And then he snores really loud when he finally rolls off of top of you and falls asleep. Now he starts to snore and now you can't sleep on top of everything else. Damn it, man.
So, guys, as you can see, she's putting it all out there for y'all. So she's putting it all out there. These are the things that women are saying because women talk about these things. Women talk about this stuff when they get into their groups and they're talking to their friends. They're saying all of these things about you, bro. As a matter of fact, I know a guy who's a personal trainer. His female clients all rant to him about their husbands.
Sure, the personal trainer is like the bartender for the man.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to his favorite club, whatever kind of club it may be.
Yeah.
And he tells her everything.
Mm-hmm.
Drink after drink.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, guys, why do you think you hear about that a lot? She started cheating with her personal trainer. It's because they could relate. They had things in common. Not defending this. I'm just saying that this is why it happens. Because at the end of the day, we're all human still, right? Guys, women have way deeper emotional desire than we have. There's an emotional need there that needs to be filled. I know it's frustrating. I get it.
Oh, you poor
because
guys.
We're not women and we don't understand it. It's that simple. We don't understand. It is in the DNA. It's just how it is, right? And they have this emotional bone that'll just, and it could at any time it could just kick in right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
but it's usually, if it just kicks in just now, it's a buildup of things that she's just been storing away. And then finally one day she blows up on you.
So is it disrespectful?
You think it comes from nowhere. It doesn't come from nowhere.
Is it disrespectful to get out of shape for your mate? You're married and now you got out of shape. I say it's disrespectful. What do you say?
Well, I'll say I think everything has its time and everything has its place. And once the children are here and once they're of a certain age, saying, I just can't seem to lose this baby weight is bullshit. It's just bullshit. bullshit.
I remember.
It's not like, stop eating the goldfish with the kids. They can eat whatever they want. Their metabolism is very different than yours. Those couple of, even the handfuls, you throw your diet off. It's done now. That one, what is it, Capri Sun? It's over now. You can't have those.
Oh,
things.
she's drinking those during the day.
You can't.
She's drinking those during the day with the little kids. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have.
You can't have soda. You can't have Capri Suns. You can't have Hawaiian Punch. You can't have Fanta. You know.
Now, guys, the advantage that we have generally is that our metabolism, we can cut weight faster. It's easier for us in that way for most men, right? For us to, oh, you know what, I'm going to get on the grind, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. We can do that.
Yes.
We can do that fairly easily. Women, it could be tougher. It could be more of a struggle, more of a grind. A lot of women just get frustrated and be like, why even bother? He's not trying either. Why am I trying?
That could be true. Yeah.
And it becomes a cascading effect. And next thing you know, you both are 400 pounds sitting around looking at each other.
Yeah.
So
until the one gets tired of the other, it goes down and files for divorce, and then all of a sudden, both of them can work out because now they're not together anymore, and I've got to make myself look good for a complete stranger.
There you go.
I don't even know somebody out there, but I'm going to go look good for them.
There you go. And I've seen that happen so many times. All of a sudden, the woman loses 30, 40 pounds. All of a sudden, she's back on the market. She's in shape. She's feeling good. She got her groove back, right? She's feeling good. She didn't do that for me, right? The dude is mad now. He's like, what the? He sees her on social media with her new boyfriend and stuff, and she's looking all good. And he said, but she wasn't doing that for me.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
He's frustrated. He's pissed now.
That hurts.
It does.
That should hurt.
It does. It should.
Yeah.
It should, but it happens all the time.
They were feeding off each other, though.
Yeah,
they
codependency.
Became heavy together and all of that. So they were feeding off of each other, and maybe that's the kick in the ass they both needed. I mean, at least now they're healthy. They might not be together anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes, maybe them not being together is the thing that's going to allow them to actually, because maybe they needed to be apart in order to actually find the person that they needed to be ultimately.
Yes.
I think that because if you're in a toxic relationship, you don't know sometimes that you're in a toxic relationship, and you think that it's normal, and you get normalcy bias, and you believe that all this stuff you're going through, you're supposed to be going through it.
And you keep telling yourself, well, it must be because so-and-so is their life's way worse than mine. So
comparison, we start comparing and saying, oh, well, that one's worse than that.
Did you hear what so-and-so did to her husband? Well, at least we're not doing that.
At least we're not doing that. At least we got this right. At least which now, there are couples that they may have very good sexual chemistry, right? Their sexual, maybe that's the only thing that's working. Like maybe everything else is messed up, but the sexual chemistry is still there. If you're in that camp, at least, because what ends up happening is the same woman, right? That the bedroom desire is not there. When she does have sex with you, you're getting the dead starfish variety of it. She's not swinging from the chandelier like she wants to do for the personal trainer. See, and then guys, and that really, really, really bothers men because the vision of their wife doing to someone else what she used to do to you.
That's why I said he can't stand the sight of her when she cheats because she's into it.
Indeed.
Big time.
Indeed. He's thinking back to when she desired him. She had that desire for him, and she was performing all of these sexual things for him. He knows that she hasn't done that for me in 5 years. She's been doing it for this guy.
Yeah.
That's a tough one to swallow. That's tough. That's hard. That's hard. Very, very painful. But it happens, right? So now, with that being said, and like I said, women, the cat is out of the bag. There's no sense to keep any of this stuff hidden anymore. Everybody knows what's going on. But like I told you guys a couple of videos ago, your woman is 2 steps ahead all the time. If you're starting to think there's problems in the marriage, you should be really worried because she thought about that a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she starts suggest the workout plan for both of you, you decide, you go ahead, hun.
Yeah.
She's already kind of started her plan. In a lot of situations, not every single one, but a lot of situations because she's already starting to get herself in that shape for somebody else.
With that being said, that segues into our next bullet point. So, why do women file for divorce 80% of the time? So, women file for divorce, the national average in the United States is anywhere between 73, I think, and 80%. A lot of people say 75, a lot of people say 80. Doesn't really matter. The point is, most divorces are filed by women. Why? So we're going to go through, I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to go through these reasons. There's some specific, and I actually, when I went through all of these during the research for this show, I actually agree with most of these things. So here we go.
Mhm.
This is an article from divorcemag.com. It's from 2021, but very, very, very relevant. And we're going to go through these points here. So, 6 reasons why women are more likely to file for divorce than men. Now, one thing I'll say prior to this is that the divorce rate skyrocketed when they implemented no-fault divorces. And I have to look it up, but most states now, there are some states that are still at-fault states, meaning that if the woman gets caught cheating, she doesn't get alimony, things like that. They took all of those things for no-fault states. They took those things off the table because they wanted to generate more money for the divorce courts. That's pretty much what it is, because they knew if they take no-fault divorces out, if they make it no-fault divorce, you can file divorce for any reason. Like all you have to do is file to be, there doesn't have to be a reason. And then when women figure this out, just go file for divorce.
Yeah.
Even if she got caught cheating, it does not matter. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's asinine. However, it's the law. Okay, so if you're going to get married, look into no-fault divorce. Now, now the 6.
If you're going to get married,
the 6 reasons why women file more often than men. So, number 1, most women no longer dream of being housewives. They want satisfying careers and marriages.
Yes, women. Listen, I was home for the first 7 months after Skylar was born, and although I loved being home with my daughter and I loved watching her grow and everything like that, there's a routine that's generated and it's the same thing every day. Yeah. Now, if you're a housewife and you've got a ton of money in the bank, that's different. We didn't have a ton of money in the bank. So if you're poor and home, it sucks because there's nothing to do. And I couldn't wait to use my nursing license. I couldn't wait to go to work. It didn't mean I didn't want to be around my daughter. It didn't mean I didn't like, doing those things at home. We still do them. But by the way, Valium was created for the unhappy housewife way back in the whenever it was created, 50s or some crazy shit like that. Ask Purdue Pharma because they're the ones that created it, and they created it for the unhappy housewife. She's at home every single day doing the same damn thing. He comes home. Again, she's part of his routine. She doesn't feel special anymore.
Right.
We want to be a priority, and that's the biggest reason for, I think, at least, I won't use me as an example, but I think that that's the biggest reason. You're not a priority anymore. He doesn't put you on the pedestal anymore. He doesn't even, you got to spice it up every now and again. Women like spice. We need, like I said last time or a couple shows ago, women like drama. Well, spice it up. Give us some drama at home. We can have drama between the two of us.
There you go.
Let's wear weird outfits.
So, guys, did you hear this?
Meet me at the bar. Pretend to be a stranger. I don't know anything.
I hope you guys are paying attention to this because this is very insightful stuff. She just got done telling you.
She wants to be roughhouse, too. All this same roll over on top of me and then roll off crap. I know your routine. I know it. Do something. Throw her against the wall. Hold her up against the wall. Can you do that with your dad bod? Can you hold her against the wall?
Probably not.
Probably
not. But here's what I want to say, because part of this is the fault of feminism. So they want satisfying careers and marriages. So what feminism has done as it has been. So you just described the unhappy housewife.
In the 1950s.
Feminism is actually anti to that, right? So we women don't want to be barefoot and pregnant, right?
Can't stand feminist movement.
So that's the precipice of it, and that part of it makes sense, but they have perverted it badly, and they've convinced women that you need to be like men in order to be successful and to be happy.
It's
and guess what's ended up happening?
Bad program that they've installed in women. Yeah.
Unfortunately, what is happening, ladies, is that you're voluntarily making your lives harder.
Much harder.
They have convinced you, and there's reasons for this. Number one, women drive 80% of consumer spending. They need you guys working more and making more money so that you can spend it into the economy.
Sure.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the game, guys. They have convinced women hold 70% of student loan debt. They convinced you guys to go back to school and get a whole bunch of worthless degrees. They funneled you into worthless degrees on purpose.
Yeah, they made up a whole bunch of
the stuff that they were funneling women into. That's why you have all these women that are frustrated because they've gone out and got all these degrees. And now they're making $45,000 working in human resources.
Yeah.
And they're pissed. And they're talking about the glass. They're talking about the wage gap that does not exist. They're talking about that because they're frustrated that they got sold a dream. This was the college industrial complex that did that. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
And they have got men. We already bowed out.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to college like women.
Men figure it out quickly on things like this. They got women. They got you emotionally charged up, and let's go out here and get all these degrees, and we're going to be like men, and we're going to run the household, and we're going to do it. Why?
And women, well, I can do it. If she can't do it, I can do it.
You do realize
we'll talk
that
about nursing one day.
We have much shorter lifespans because of the stress. Do you want to have shorter lifespans? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. So if anyone listening out there is pro-feminist, please, we'd love to have you on the show. We'd love to have you on the show because most women that I speak to are not feminists. When you talk to a woman face to face and you talk to them about a lot of the stuff that modern call it modern feminism is teaching these women. Most women do not agree with this stuff.
Well, you didn't talk to a woman with blue, green hair or anything.
Yeah, but when you turn on the news or you turn on the media, they make you believe that there's this massive movement of all of these women who are tearing down masculinity, don't want men in the house. We'll have a show on single motherhood rate in different communities. It's extraordinarily high. It's the highest in the United States than anywhere else in the world. That's by design. Mm-hmm. They don't want men in the household. Okay, all of this is by design.
Yes,
okay, so as we continue through, let's jump to part number 2 or point number 2. Women look forward to true equality of the sexes. Why?
I don't want to be equal to you. I told you I want to be treated better than you.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you. Shouldn't you? This is the problem that I have with feminism. This is the problem that I have with the women who want to be quote unquote equal to, have the sexes be equal. We're not equal.
Not in any way.
Thank you.
I mean,
but feminism is trying to convince you that you're equal and we're equally. Men look backward to the golden age of marriage. You know what that means? Men are looking at, man, I just want my wife to.
I don't want her to compete with me.
Yeah.
I want to be treated like a priority, and he wants to be put on a pedestal. He wants to be served his food first.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
He wants to be bragged to in front of their friends at a cocktail party. Oh, he's just so great.
Point number 3.
I don't have to do anything myself.
Big one. Women are less willing to accept unhappy relationships than men. I agree. Women, I think, when it starts to get sour because let's just be honest, a lot of guys, they can just keep doing that until they croak.
Grin and bear it, because he has something on the side. If they're that unhappy, she's talking to the trainer, and he's got a strip club girlfriend.
By the way, strip club clientele, these are not places where single men hang out. That's another part of the mainstream programming that people believe, is that strip clubs are for single men. They're not. They are not. I'm going to say 80%, you would know better than me. I'm going to say about 80% of the clientele in strip clubs are all married men. I say 80. What do you say?
85, 90. Because the only time you would really get young guys, it would be a bachelor party.
Right, right, right.
But most, they're all married. They're all married.
There we go. So there's another misconception that a lot of people don't think. They think it's just for just single men. Nope. And single men don't spend money on that stuff. They're
They
doing
don't
other
spend
things.
money anyway.
They're doing other things.
They're boring.
Point number 4, men often believe they have more to lose in a divorce than women. That is correct, because men are most of the time, ladies, the man is the breadwinner. Okay. Now I know that's changing. I know there's more women. I know there's women that are making more money than their men now because you guys wanted to do that, and then you get mad at and now you get mad at him because you're making more money than him.
And then they say really like sly stuff like she has to date down.
Date down.
You wanted to make more money.
It's it's funny, right?
It's going to be very hard for you now to find someone that is an equal counterpart. There's not as many men, I don't think. If women are more to men that are in college, and more women are making more money. Now, that's not to say that men aren't. There's plenty of men making plenty of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can see that how. She might wait. She'll wait it out a little bit longer with him.
Well, she's probably going to outlive you anyway. So think about it. I mean, like it becomes, I mean, that's really what it is. The woman's sitting there like, I can wait it out. I'm probably going to outlive him by 20 years anyway. I'll just wait. He'll croak before I will. Okay. Now, this point is actually number 4, because when I was going through my scenario, a lot of the men that I talked to, none of these men, by the way, were happily married, by the way. Maybe that's just a coincidence, but anyway, they all told me the same thing. Their biggest reason for not filing for divorce was, number 1, they don't want to lose the money that they've worked so hard to earn. Number 2, they don't want another man around their children. Okay. Here's the problem with that. So what you're saying is you're willing to be miserable for however long. Now, yeah, granted, you may have a girlfriend on the side, whatever the case may be.
That's why he dies first. He's miserable.
Yeah. So you're willing to. So what good is the money then?
And what good is the money?
That's all I'm saying. Like, what good is you clinging to the money? The money. Like, what are you doing clinging to? Like, you're clinging. Like, the dude's literally clinging to it. Like, he's married to the money.
He is married to the money. I told you. I said, hey, I know plenty of 50-year-old dudes that are. They get their HGH, they're working out, they look good. You could wait till you're 50, and keep your money, or you could make more money.
Sure. You can always make more money, guys. You cannot make more time. That's the way I see it.
There's a difference between 40 and 50. Big difference.
Huge. You can make more money. You cannot make more time. Just keep that in mind.
Especially for a woman. Big difference between 40 and 50.
Oh, God. Massive difference. Oh, boy. That's another show. Number 5, women are quicker to consult a lawyer than men. The reason for this is
I want to go find out what I'm getting.
Correct. The man needs to find out what he's going to lose. The woman needs to find out what she's going to get. That's typically how it works.
And then she's quicker to file. She's like, you know what? I'm not taking this crap anymore. This is just, I'm done. I'm tired.
Yeah.
She's tired.
Yeah.
Usually she's tired.
She's tired. She's very tired. Last point, number 6, women are much more aware of the emotional health of their marriage than men, which we've already spoken about before, because that goes back to the fact that women are generally 2 steps ahead in all scenarios when it comes to relationships. I keep coming up, you saw it in the article.
But it's not like she hasn't told you about it.
Yeah,
multiple times. She comes to you. The first time she comes to you, she tells you, okay, these are the things that are making me feel this way. And I would really like it if you would stop, or I would really like it if you did this instead. And you might fix those things, but the default program is stronger than the new program. So you fall back to the default program, start acting like the same person you were maybe 3 months later. You get maybe 60 to 90 days out of him, and he's doing all the right things. Yeah. And then
you scared him to death. You said you were leaving.
Yeah.
Now he's going to be on his best behavior for the next 30 days.
He is. He does very, very well. And then he defaults. And then you put up with it for a few months, and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm going to say something again. And each time you go back, and it's not like you weren't told.
Yeah.
You were told. So don't be surprised when she starts packing your shit, because she's not leaving.
Yeah, she doesn't have to.
Get out.
She doesn't have to. In most cases, she doesn't have to do anything. All she has to do is file. It's pretty much how it works. Now, before you all out there say, see, you're anti-marriage and you're telling people not to get married. I never said that. As a matter of fact, I'm pro-marriage. I mean, I'm just not very good at it.
He's been married twice.
All right. Don't listen to me. Okay, let me disclaimer. Don't listen to me when it comes to advice as far as getting married, not getting married. Don't take it from me. I don't know what I'm doing.
I've never been married, so
yeah. So neither one of my sisters have been married before. I was the only one who did it.
I've been in long-term relationships, pretty much being married. I just never took that walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
I like getting engaged.
Most women like getting engaged. Yeah.
I've only been engaged 4 times.
Is that all?
Yeah.
4 times? Wow. Okay.
People want to marry me.
People want to marry her. People want to marry her.
I just don't make it.
So, I'm not anti-marriage. What I will say is this though. I do believe that before you can consider marrying somebody, I believe you have to share 2 things. Number 1, you have to have commonality in your values. If your values are not the same, this whole opposites attract stuff, that's BS.
That's a lie.
That's BS. It may be okay for an initial attraction, like a physical attraction. And if the people that I were married to, there was an opposite attract physically, right? But not.
It won't keep you together.
It won't keep you together. That's very short term.
It'll cause problems.
You must be equally yoked.
Yes.
Equally
That's
yoked.
what the Bible. You got to be equally yoked.
You have to.
You got to like the same. You have to have the same foundation for some very key things. Religion is one.
Oh yeah. Even politics. We've seen marriages break up in the last couple of years over politics. We've seen it.
Have a couple of hobbies that you do together. Like you have your friends that are very into Star Wars together.
Yeah.
They're very into comics together.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you have to have. I think all of those things. I think you must have those things.
Yeah.
As I think you do.
If you have 1 or 2 really good hobbies together, right? And those other things that have to be the same, like you gotta be on the same political party. Yeah.
This whole opposites attract stuff. It just doesn't work long term. I don't believe. I think we get caught up in the short term. Now, we get married. Some of us are in our 20s. We learn as we evolve. We get older. We learn, right? So, when people ask me, would you ever get married again? I say no. However, I say that at 45. Will I say that at 55? Maybe not. Maybe by that time I will have met somebody that fits all of those. Now, the criteria is very specific for me. It's very specific for me what you need, the boxes that you would need to check. They all need to be checked. There's no partial answers accepted here.
So you would say your standards have changed?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that okay for... Why do they talk smack about women as they get older?
Yeah.
Their standards are higher. And who do you think you are now?
Well, because your sexual marketplace value is a lot lower.
It is lower.
That's why.
Yes, I do understand that.
Yeah.
But I think she's put up with so much other stuff and settled for so many things for so long. And quite frankly, a lot of us don't even really know ourselves until we're into our 40s. You have that self-actualization stage, I call it. Like as soon as I crossed over 40, all of a sudden I was like, man, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks of me now. Like I was very self-conscious. I cared about what other people thought of me. I had low self-esteem. I was a victim of every single thing in my life. It was everybody's fault why I was a certain way or things bothered me or whatever. And once I crossed over 40, I started to change. And each year I get even better at being me. So there are things I have way higher standards than I did in my 20s. Even though my sexual market value is dropped because I'm in my middle age, I'm aware. I know what it is. I know what the deal is, but I still don't have to settle.
And that's why. But that's why you're not in a relationship.
And I'm celibate.
So see, you've chosen to. You're not in a relationship. You are comfortable where you are in your own skin, because some people they can't identify being alone. Like some people, they're by themselves, they just can't do it. They must have somebody there, even if that person is a detriment to them. They just need a warm body next to them. They almost don't know how to navigate life without someone else there.
I was like that. I used to be like that. I was very codependent and all of those things. And Man, having an awakening and going through a hermit phase and just kind of getting to know me. I like who I am.
Okay, so tell us what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
We're over an hour, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. This was a fun topic. We're going to revisit this topic. This is obviously a broad topic. There's lots to unpack here. But in general, I think hopefully you guys got some goodness out of this. I think that there's some good points to be made on both sides of the argument here. How do we move forward? How do we progress? Because I think right now everyone, what we can agree is everyone's frustrated with this stuff. So how do we fix it? Because if we continue on the rate that we're going, I mean, we already have single motherhood rate is extraordinarily high. If we keep it up, I mean, there's going to be by default just there don't be no dads anymore. The dad ain't gonna be in the house no more. Is what's going to happen eventually if we keep up at this rate. I think we have to fix, if it's possible, to fix these fundamental issues. Tell us what you think.
How do we fix it?
How do we fix it? How do we fix it? Share with us in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, leave a like, a dislike if you like. We love the engagement. It helps us build content for future shows.
Share this out to anyone you think.
Share it out. Turn on post notifications as well, so that when we drop new content, which we'll be doing every week, you will get a notification and you'll be able to share it with us. So, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I said enough.
Yeah, you've been talking the whole time. Yeah, man, your sister was doing a lot of talking on that one. But this was a broad topic. I knew she was going to have a lot to say. Guys, I hope she did give a lot of feedback, because we did have some requests for more of the female perspective. I think I did a lot of talking in the other videos. But you can see she got loose on this one. She was ready. She could have kept going. She was rolling. She was rolling.
I got more to say.
We got more. She's got a lot more to say. So we're going to follow up with this. Again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.